This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Helping you find emotional, spiritual, and physical balance. What does your future hold? It's time to find out with Psychic Suzanna.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Now, you can find us at PsychicSuzanna.com or 1110KFAB.com, where you can find all the shows we have done. And you can go back, listen, and figure out how to get things done and how to improve yourself. This show is just about empowering you to be better every day, every moment of every minute of every life. So here we're giving you the information you need. You take it, you incorporate it, and you make your life better step by step. And tonight we're having on a guest I had on before who really challenged me, made me enjoy him a lot. And he's got a neat book called The Bliss. Ridiculous Bliss. And he has a website called The Ridiculous Bliss. And I'm welcoming to the phone Mattew Ferry. Welcome, Matthew.
Susanna, thank you so much for having me back on.
Well, you know, Matthew, I'm pretty impressed with you. The last time I had you on for a short time, so we're going to embellish you because you're going to help us figure out how to be happy, even when the outside situation doesn't make us happy. Can you give us some ideas on that? When the circumstances don't make us happy, how do we find ourselves to be happy?
I think that the first thing that we have to acknowledge is that happiness is not something that is bred into us, and it's not something that we can just rely on some physical thing to occur so we can be happy. It's actually a practiced mental state. It's something you have to take on the same way an athlete would take on. And that's what I really try to push forward in all of the work that I do, including the Ridiculous Bliss series. So, I think that we have to just start by saying, well, wait a second, Susanna. Happiness is something that I can practice. I can make it happen if I'm willing to take on some certain skills.
Okay, now, if with the certain skills, let's talk. If we are jobless, we don't have a job, and we, in our mind, think, if I get a job, I'll be okay. If our mate doesn't talk loving to us, and we think, if my mate was just a little bit different, it'd be okay. If my bank account doesn't say exactly what I want it to say, and I think if I just had $100 more a month, I'd be okay. Now, you tell me that I can be happy with all of those circumstances?
In fact, I'd like to say that you're going to be happier if you don't look to the outside world to make you happy. So I'll just take an example from my own personal life. In the last 6 months or so, my wife and I have been in one of those transitionary phases of relationship. We're together for 14 years now. And, every once in a while you grow and you become, and you're no longer the same people that you were before. And right before you're about to have a breakthrough, right before you're about to go to the next level as a couple, you experience all kinds of agitation and frustration and annoyance and anger and doubt and uncertainty. All of those emotions come up naturally. They're a part of what growth is. And we've been in that phase, and I just went away for a 5-day snowboarding trip. And on that snowboarding trip, I just got to thinking, wow, there's so much frustration and agitation. It's got to be me. Now, where I was before is it's got to be her.
Right.
But I gave it up. And I said, it's got to be me. The only person who can change here, the only person that I can change is me. And I began a process of saying, what do I like about this woman? What do I love about her? What works about her? What's right about her? And I just started making a list of all the things that I did like. Now, there were many things at this moment that I was writing the list that were annoying me and agitating me, but I began to just focus my brain and say, what do I like? And I wrote out this big, giant list. Well, all of a sudden, I started to think to myself, wait a second, no wonder I love this woman. No wonder I have dedicated my life to being with her. I returned from my trip, and it has been magical ever since. All of a sudden, my behavior has changed. I'm more helpful. I'm more loving. I'm more kind. And guess what? She's responding. Suddenly she's more loving. She's more kind. I changed inside of me, and it changed the marriage.
So you're telling me it's what we focus on that will make us happy. How can we find happiness with a partner that is not supportive? And you just told us, but how can we find happiness if we think the only escape is a divorce? Can we get through that? Can we stay in the marriage?
Absolutely.
How do we do that? How do we save our marriages, our children, everything by turning in and not finding a problem? Tell us the secret.
I think that
I want the whole big secret.
I don't know if it's a secret necessarily, but I have coached in a life coaching and business coaching situation more than 8,000 people.
Right.
And those people have been in all kinds of crazy situations, and some of them in some very intense marriages that in their mind felt like it wasn't working. And what it came down to is I really asked them I challenged them to discover what I call the drunk monkey in our head.
All right.
We've got
Tell me about the drunk monkey. Yes. You talked about that last time. I was real thrilled with him. Talk about Jim. He's going to tell us about the drunk monkey.
Okay, let's hear about these drunk monkeys.
All right.
Jim,
I want to hear the drunk.
Let's get out the drinks, Jim. Because the
Okay.
The drunk monkey is still partying even after New Year's.
All right.
But the drunk monkey is a little nickname that I gave to all the thoughts in my head. And one of my teachers said, you need to look at your mind like it is a monkey. And he said, if you let a monkey loose in your house, it would wreck everything. And then he said, if you let your mind loose in your life, it will also wreck everything. And I was real young when I was taught this. I think I was 21 years old, and I was partying like crazy and being a crazy, 21-year-old. And I thought, my mind is not just a monkey. My mind is a drunk monkey. My mind is saying all kinds of nasty things, all the things that drunk people say. My mind was saying them even when I wasn't drunk. So I started to nickname it that, and my clients really took to it. And what I've done over the last 20 years is really investigated, well, what does this darn thing do? And what I noticed is that it is protecting us from all the people in the world who aren't even attacking us.
So it protects us from people that aren't attacking us?
Correct.
Well, how does it get its power
your
then?
kids, your lovers, your friends, your children. Susanna, they're not attacking you. They're just doing the things that they do. And then our mind, the drunk monkey, quantifies it as an attack. But if we really step back, we discover that people generally are just doing the best they can. They're not attacking us. This takes some serious discipline, by the way.
It does take some discipline. So when someone is not supportive of you, you step back and say, I'm okay anyway? Is that what you're wanting?
Let's get specific, okay? So I'll take an incident out of my own life to help get specific.
Okay.
Right now, I am in the middle of starting a new business, and I like to do that. And one of the things that happens in starting a new business is you fail a lot, and you fall down, and you don't succeed in the beginning. And starting a business is very, very difficult. And my wife, her sort of biggest value in life is safety, which, of course, is hilarious being with a person like me whose biggest value is adventure. So I'm starting these new businesses, and it's making her nervous, and it's making her upset, and she's getting afraid. And when she gets nervous and upset and afraid, she has this natural response to, attack or try to degrade what it is that I'm doing so that I will hopefully stop doing it and bring safety back into our environment. And if I just buy into my own drunk monkey talk, I'll think that she's attacking me. But see, my drunk monkey is holding her accountable to agreements that she never made. And her drunk monkey is holding me accountable to agreements that I never made.
Okay, we're going to take a little break. And when we come back, I want you to explain that thought, how we hold other people to agreements they didn't make. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. You can check us out at PsychicSuzanna.com, 1110KFAB.com. We're coming back and understanding how we can be happy in all situations of our life. We'll be right back.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.
Yes, this is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. You can find us at PsychicSuzanna.com or 1110 KFAB, where you will find the show going up on the air. Also, please join us on Facebook. We have a website, Facebook, just for the show, where you find out who's coming on the air each week. We have, it is Life with Psychic Suzanna. And if you join Susanna Stickney on Facebook, you'll find out what I'm doing daily. And I try to give you a power thought, keep you in the know of what, finding the best in life all the time. Right now, we're talking to Mattew Ferry, and we've talked several times, to him in our dreams. He wrote a book called Ridiculous Bliss. And in the book, he tells us how we can take step-by-step instructions on how to feel happy in every aspect of your life. Now, right now, we're coming back to Matthew. Are you there?
I'm here.
Now, Matthew, you're going to tell us when we have people in our life who bring us conflict, how to stay happy and find happiness. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Let's do that. Well, you know what I'd like to say, Susanna, is that what you're aware of, you are in control of. And what you are not aware of is in control of you.
Okay,
and
say that one more time, because that's a beautiful statement.
What you are aware of, you are in control of. And what you are not aware of is in control of you. And so many of us are not aware of that there is a mechanism, a biological mechanism going on called your mind. Mm-hmm. And it's just biology. It's not important. It's not valid. It's not real. It's not true. It's just a system for keeping us alive longer. And the mind has been a terrific, terrific thing for mankind. But here's the bottom line. Now it is outworn its welcome because it is keeping us safe from all the people in the world that aren't attacking us. It's trying to move us away from danger that doesn't even exist. Someone disagreeing with you is not a danger to you. And yet, if someone disagrees with you, we respond with anger and frustration and violence and resignation or hurt feelings.
You almost feel like it's a personal attack if they disagree. How
and
could they not see it? How could they not see it like I see it?
It's just blah, 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 blah. That's all they said. They just made a bunch of sound, and then that sound got interpreted by this mechanism as an attack. And if we don't learn to see it for what it really is, it will control us, and we will never gain true happiness.
So to control the blah, 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 give me a step or two, would you?
Let me give you a couple of steps. Here's a couple things that I like to do. Number one, like we said before the break, I really encourage people to stop holding people accountable to agreements that they never made. The drunk monkey is not the ruler of the universe. That talking in your head is not the almighty, all-knowing, all-seeing being of the world. And nobody signed up for the rules and the regulations that you're holding people to. So if you can let that go, it'll just be an immediate increase in your overall happiness.
Wow. But, I just think people agree with me all the time. I can't believe they don't. I can't believe people want to argue with me. Okay.
But let's look at it objectively. We were all raised by a different tribe. So our moms and dads and aunts and uncles and the foster parents and the people that raised us, that group, they were just doing the best they could to help us get along in the world. They were doing the best they could to get along themselves. Oftentimes our parents or the people who raised us were in extreme amounts of breakdown when they were raising us. And so they were just trying to get along. And so...
Are you saying I can't blame them?
Well, you certainly can blame them if you want to experience misery. If you want to experience power, then ultimately you have to realize that your life is what it is because of the choices that you're making, either consciously or unconsciously. And unfortunately, most of us make those choices unconsciously.
And they were made unconsciously because of how we were grown up, how were we raised.
We were programmed to believe that the world is the way that it is. Here's another tip to get to bliss quickly, okay? And this one, you don't have to do this, but the rest of us do, and that is quit pretending that the drunk monkey is psychic. Because the drunk monkey literally tells us, Susanna, that it can look at a person on the outside and know what's going on the inside. Or it believes that it can go into a situation and foretell the future. And for most of us, this is a big problem because most of the time we don't know what's going to happen, but we feel anxiety over what could potentially happen. And that anxiety is not the truth. That anxiety is just a vision that the drunk monkey is feeding us. We got to tell the drunk monkey that it doesn't know what's going to happen today and that we're going to be on an adventure and we're just going to see what's going to happen today. That'll make you so much happier.
We'll be right back with you, Matthew Ferry. You're going to tell us how we can find out more about you, how we can understand more of the ridiculous bliss. We'll be right back.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. She knew I was going to say that.
This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. We are talking to Matthew Ferry. He's telling us how to be happy, even when the outside world tells us not to be happy. Matthew.
Hi.
I was at your website, Ridiculous Bliss. As I understand it, you have a couple new things going on there, including a 2-year plan. Is that right, for online happiness?
Yeah, well, the first thing that I like people to do is I like them to come and I give them a 30-day free happiness course where every couple of days I send them a video or a message that will get them back to a place where they stop listening to the drunk monkey and they start looking around at what's really going on in their life. And I like to have people do that absolutely free. So if they'll go to ridiculousbliss.com, they can see there's a 30-day bliss challenge to check out.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And in your parting words that you have for us, can you give us a couple tidbits that we can put in our action tomorrow to make us happy today?
Tomorrow. One, they should catch the drunk monkey in action. Catch it doing its job, trying to keep you away from danger and realize that life is not dangerous. 2, make a gratitude list today. 3, look for what you like about the people that you encounter daily. And then finally, see the drunk monkey judging and assessing everybody and just let that go, and you'll be so much happier.
I want to thank you for being on air with us today. You have a wonderful energy, a wonderful idea, and the ridiculous bliss. Please go check it out, 30-day free trial. I love that, Matthew. Thank you for doing that. Why did you give us a 30-day free trial, by the way? What was your intention?
You know, I just noticed that when you give, you receive. And so my life has been blessed, and my goal is to bless as many people as I possibly can with what my mentors gave to me. I want to give to you.
Thank you for that. Again, this is Matthew Ferry. You can find him at ridiculousbliss.com. He is the happiness expert. We thank you for being with us, Matthew.
Thank you, Susanna.
And we have how many minutes before we go to the break?
I'd say about a minute.
So before we go to the break, I want you to know we're having Tina's personal trainer. Yes, the Domino Divas, Tina, has a personal trainer. April, what's your last name?
Waltermeyer.
April Waltermeyer is going to be here with us, telling us how to get motivated in this coming year. You should see Tina. She sits up straight. She brings care to the domino. She's a healthy woman. We're going to talk to her trainer. Right back when we come back on Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Yes, you're right where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. You can find us at PsychicSuzanna.com or 1110KFAB.com. Or please join us on our Facebook. We have Life with Psychic Suzanna, where you get an inside info on who's coming up this coming week. Yes, it'll be a feng shui decorator. We'll be talking to her, and we'll find someone local too. So we're going to get decorating next week. And on Facebook, you find out what's coming up. You find out about the author. You can look them up on the website. Also, join us at Susanna Stickney on Facebook. There you get to find out what's going on, and I try to give you a power tip each day to help you and motivate you to be in charge of your life and in the moment. You know, this show is all about empowering you to be the best you can be. Right now, though, we're going to take a little short, quick trip, and we're moving on to personal fitness. And after that, we're going to be taking your calls at 1-800-543-1110, 1-800-543-1110 or 558-1110. And we will be taking your calls in about 10 more minutes. Right now, we want to talk to April. April is